Hello, hello, hello. This is live from planet Earth. Today, I am here to sing a song inspired by my warrior friends who persist in the face of challenge, and to my own self who persists in the face of challenge. May we all rise and see each other through this intensely transformational time. So I'm going to sing a song, karaoke style, for my friends, and I may just butcher it entirely, but we shall see how it flows, and if you can even hear the background music, because I am still exploring how to do this internet communication thing. I'd rather just be hands and feet in the dirt, which I do sometimes, but all y'all just on the Facebooks, so the Facebooks here. Before I go into this song, we'll share is I'm inspired today by my friends who have been projected on and misunderstood in the world. Those people who are carrying original medicine, the medicine of the heart, who have been misunderstood. I am one such person, and as inspired by my beautiful friend Francine, who just shared today, there's a song for you all. Let's see if it works here. Let's see if you can even hear this. I'm still learning music technologies. So be asked, I will survive. At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I had known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I. I will thrive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live. I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will thrive. Hey, hey. So this song goes out to all of the haters and all the people who misinterpret and misrepresent and misjudge love. It has been too long that we've misinterpreted true love. It took all the strength I had not to fall apart, just trying hard to mend the pieces of my broken heart. And I spent so many nights just feeling sorry for myself. I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high, and you see me, somebody new. I'm not that chained up little person still in love with you, and so you felt like dropping in and just expect me to be free. Well, now I'm saying all my loving for someone who's loving me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to break me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I. Yes, I will thrive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I've got all my life to live. I've got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will thrive. I'm changing the lyrics. Oh. Go on now, go. Walk out the door unless you come in love. Just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. All the thoughts of hatred, all the misinterpreting love, you aren't welcome here, 'cause only love will thrive. Oh no, not I. I will thrive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I've got all my life to live, and I've got all my love to give, and I will thrive. I will thrive. Changing the lyrics. I will thrive. To all those beautiful people out there who've ever been misinterpreted, misunderstood, been used as a doormat, been taken advantage of. No, not anymore. Only love is allowed here. This is a prayer that you recognize true love and that you stand in that integrity and that you remember that you deserve and are worthy of more love than you can even possibly cognitively conceive of. We're going to turn off YouTube because we have not been taught as a culture what true essential love is. We've been taught what consumerism is, superficialness is, how to value money, how to value time, how to value belongings, how to value status. We haven't actually been taught as a culture what true essential love is. And so, those of you who are carrying the medicine of true essential love, unconditional, have most likely been misunderstood in your lifetimes. And I have been misunderstood. I have been, through my own ignorance of my own essential nature, allowed other people to project their shadow onto me, which means I have literally been called a demon. I have literally been accused of working with black magic when I was in service from love. And so that's the depth of the shadow that we're working through collectively, that people are so unwilling to honor their own disowned parts that when someone comes in true love, and I've been called a Heyoka spirit, which means I'm going to probably do something that's contradictory to what you think is the truth. Yet if you blame me or project your shadow onto me, then what happens is you're actually gypping yourself of love. Because the way to feel, what is the word, like exalted love, is to take all of those pieces that you have projected outwardly, bring them home, and love them yourself. And maybe you don't know how to do that. And I understand, because I haven't always known how to do that myself. But that's the work. That is the work. If you are blaming someone else, if you're saying, oh, that person's dark, oh, that person's not in integrity, oh, look at that person who's homeless and they're not really fully living their lives. Are you fully living your life? I would be really, really careful if I were you and I were in the spiritual conscious community and I were seeing someone outside of yourself who's struggling or perceived as struggling. And if you judge them and you look at their shadow and you say, oh, look at that person, they're struggling, but you're not owning the part of you that's judging that struggle and you're wanting to stay superior or separate from it, you have work to do. You have shadow to bring home. Now, we all have a different curriculum in this life. We all have a different life's mission. We all have different work. So just like there's carpenters and there's painters in the spiritual world, there's people who are here to bring certain medicine and there's people who are here to bring other medicines. I'm not saying that you need to go be that kind of a medicine, but what I'm saying is that the work for us all is to take the things that we judge other people for and bring those pieces home and love them. And when we fully accept them, because love isn't just, oh, I love you. Love is acceptance. Love is unconditional. So when we unconditionally love all of these different parts of us, then we actually are living heaven on earth. So heaven on earth, heaven isn't some place that you go to when you die and you leave this earthly plane and you are absolved of all of your problems. Nope. If you got problems here that are unresolved, I guarantee you, you will be resolving them once you leave your body, because the soul and the spirit is infinite. And we've come here for a particular lesson. So the more that you're pushing away the shadow, I'll give you an example because I'm called to give an example. I was in a healing session, and in that healing session, this person projected onto me their shadow. I paid them several $100s because I knew I needed support, and I just got a windfall of money, which I hadn't had for a while. So I reached out to support, and in this session, this person brought their shadow to the session and accused me in some way of bringing darkness into their life. Now, as a healer, it's really important for you all of us healers to really be accountable for our shadows, because if we're not really accountable for our shadows when we work with other people, we are going to be creating more harm. Now, the blessing in this for me was it was very obvious that I was being projected on, and so I sought support from one of my shamanic teachers, and I reclaimed that shadow part of myself that needed validation and healing from other people. So, something I get to come into in my life is that there's actually nothing wrong with me. I have been told from a very young age that there was something wrong with me, that I was too crazy, too wild, too creative, too disturbed, too la 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 la. Because, yeah, I'm a fucking crazy person, but I'm sane. That's why I'm crazy in this world. And I'm being mindful about what I speak about here in this moment, because I'm aware that not everyone is available for the level of truth that I have to share right now. And something I get to be with, and thank you for whoever's watching, is I get to be with the quality of patience, and like learning really what patience mean is that for me personally, I've come in with medicine. I was born awakened. I knew I was here to help the planet, but I had to walk through hell dimension. I was born into hell dimension. Both my parents struggled with alcoholism. My mother's side of the family, my grandmother died in a mental institution. My mother was told she was crazy and put on lots of heavy medication. I was also tried to put on heavy medication. But the point of this is that I come from a magical lineage. I come from a people that were magical. You could call it fairy people, you could call it gnome people, you could call it leprechaun people. But yes, we are magic. The earth is magic. And so magic can't be controlled. It can't be targeted, marketed, located. It's special. It's secret. It's the mystery. And what the intellect and the male driven society doesn't like is they don't like things that they can't control. Everyone in the conscious community, you're going to be judging that which you can't control. You can't control the wild essence that flows through me that does not want to conform to society. No one can. I can't even control it. Trust me, I have tried. I have tried to conform. I have tried to do the things that everyone else is doing so that I can survive, and what my intention is to thrive in this world, and it's not worked. Some has worked for a little bit of time, and then it always crashes and burns, because my path isn't to do the carved out path that everyone's lived. My path is to carve out a new path, and actually many, many new paths for people, so that they can see that there's infinite amounts of ways to get out of hell. And so those who are trapped on this in hell dimension on this planet, and I see you, and I know some of you will be watching, and even me, I'm still crawling myself out of these places. But I know that every time I crawl myself out of a place of hell, that I'm actually creating a pathway of potential for someone else to walk. So yay, patting myself on the back, because that's pretty much, I have a few people that'll pat me on the back, but no one's here patting me on the back. I'm called to share that I'm in New Mexico, and I am not quite sure what the next step is. I'm debating, do I go to so and so place? Do I leave the country? Which sounds like a great idea right now, people. Do I continue to not be in a home? Because I've been not in a home. I've been home free, traveling and sharing the good work wherever I go with strangers, people that aren't part of the conscious community, people who just happen to be in my pathway. The other day, I'm called to share the other day, I am at this place, thought I made a mistake coming here, moved through all of my purifications of crying and feeling sorry for myself, and I made a mistake, to walk out the door, to be at a coffee shop, to sit in presence, to see a woman who's calling out the truth next to me, to this woman who was not available for it. She was talking about masks. She was being the wild, free Heyoka spirit she is. And this woman was not receiving her because the woman was not available for her truth. But what I saw was, I saw her heart and I saw her soul. And I told her that I appreciated how radically truthful she was being in the face of people who weren't listening. And I was grateful that she was able to have enough confidence in herself to communicate this without feeling, she wasn't worried about whether this person cared or not. She was just speaking her truth radically. And I saw myself in her, because I have been ostracized for just being like, this is the truth, and people aren't available to hear it. I've been most recently in last 2 months, I had a man who I was helping and living with because he needed help clearing out his house from his baggage of his whole life. He's in his late 60s, early 70s. And he accused me of being schizophrenic while I'm in his house helping him clear out his past. So there's a lot of depth that I have to move through and a lot of personal healing I have to move through, given that, yeah, my grandmother, my ancestors were not able to stabilize their sensitivity in this patriarchal paradigm. And most guaranteed, if you're very highly sensitive and highly, I call it like quantum compassionate, you're not just compassionate for people, you're quantum compassionate for the whole universe. This dimension that we're living in, planet Earth, right now is going to be very challenging for you. But trust, because your medicine is actually the medicine that we all need. Everyone on the planet needs sensitivity, tenderness, compassion, patience. That's what I'm working on a lot of. Peace. And peace isn't bypassing. Peace isn't, oh, let me just feel good on my nipad me. Although that chant in of itself can bring peace, what Kuan Yin teaches us is that she had to walk through the fire. People misjudged her. People ostracized her. She didn't fit in to the community, for her family, none of it. But she knew from the essence of herself what was truth, and she walked that radically. So my encouragement to all of you, whatever path on your journey you are on, or whatever part of your journey you're on, whether you feel like you're strong, whether you feel like you're weak, whether you feel like you're flying high, we're all in this together. Even the people who are looking like they're doing really, really well and they're having really successful businesses and they're, pioneering the way, what looks like it on Facebook, they are not absolved of their responsibility as a community. Because the era that we are in right now, while you can shut it down, you can deny it, you can whatever, you can pretend, you can hide in the closet, you can put your desires for community on the back burner, the only way that we're going to transcend into heaven on earth is to do it together. Which means the people who have all the money and the people who don't have the money join hands and share. Regardless of status, regardless of past experiences, regardless of family, regardless of what the fuck ever. That's the only way we're going to do it, is if we do it together. Now, each of you has a different way that you're going to do it together. Maybe you doing it together means that you sit in solitude and you pray for the people. That's also doing it together because you're in consciousness of otherness. So it's rare that when enlightened beings are here on the planet, but a sign of an enlightened being is they can acknowledge that there's others. Actually, other people, other beings, not just a projection image of what I think you are, but you're actually another being. Whoever, I don't even know who's watching this because tech is like my last favorite thing on the planet. But I'm coming on because I'm understanding and understanding that there is value in moving through what we've been given here to bring an awareness that what's most important is connection to the earth, to ourselves, and not just our idea of ourselves, but our essential nature, the eternal, the part that just comes back and again and again and again. I feel called to share this. I've heard some people recently share with me like, this is my last life, like I'm committing that this is my last life, and la 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 la. I honor you if this is your last life. And my awareness of my own path is that I don't have to be here. I don't have to be in this body. I could just be a presence floating in the cosmos. But I chose to be here because there's something really, really, really fucking special, people, about being in this body. And it's sometimes people like, oh, life is happening to me. Oh, I'm a victim of the things that are coming at me from the outside. And I have been in that way of thinking too. Forgive my soul for contributing any way in which it's contributed to your suffering. I apologize. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you. And life is happening for us. It's a gift. We get to breathe in this body. So while I have friends who are focusing on their ascension, leaving the planet to go to some other exalted place, I'm aware that I already am exalted and I'm working my damned best, or not damned, language is powerful. I'm working my heavenly best to braid and weave that eternal loving part of myself in with this dense physical body. Now, what is needed in order to actually braid that heaven with this body is to bring heavenly consciousness, which is compassion, patience, acceptance, love, unconditional, to all these sticky, dicky, icky, dense parts of this body. Which for me, it's honoring that while I have a soul that's eternal, I was born into a particular lineage in this life. And the lineage that I was born into struggles immensely with mental illness and addiction and suppression of magic. So, what I get to bring love to is I get to bring my consciousness of love to all of those places and heal through all time and space. And every time I experience a healing, whether it's emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, I sit in prayer and I send a replica of that healing. And I'll send a replica of this healing right now through all time and space, through my lineage, so that each one of them can feel the seed spark of this healing that is possible. And so thus I am the answered prayers of all of my lineage, which means I chose this lineage particularly because of its suffering. And I, as an infinite soul, was like, I know how to come in and bring love to those magical places and to heal all of that separation and all of the patriarchal projections of sin that the feminine, and not just the feminine, women, the feminine energy, sensuality, pleasure, joy, playfulness, sexuality, birth. Now, men and women both birth life. It takes two. So, part of also what I'm here to do, and my parents did not have the capacity to do the healing in their relationship. They completely daggers, all the things. And I am here to end the war between the man and the woman, the masculine and the feminine. It doesn't just mean men and women now get along. It also means I'm here holding a key code for men to remember their own inner feminine. Because what you've heard in some traditions potentially is this word called two-spirited. Yeah, I'm two-spirited. I'm actually probably infinite-spirited because I'm aware of myself in dimensions that sexuality, binary, penis vagina isn't even a part of the paradigm. There's places in the universe where it takes three to make a new. Duality is but a fraction of the infinitude of love. If there's duality, then there's love broken into infinity. So there's realities and dimensions where it takes 10 to create new life. So those of you who are watching this and who may not be even watching this, but I see you, I love you, all of my tribe, it's going to take us all coming together and actually surrendering our defenses and showing up in equality to create something new. So for all of you who carry the codes and the seeds, I send love, 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 that the purification process is easeful and as simple as possible. The time is now. I love you. I love you. For whoever's watching, I love you. I love supporting those on the healing journey as well. And I'll say that the Facebook platform of trying to market and all that shit does not work for me, has not worked for me. I don't like being on the computer very much. So when I share here of an offering or of I'm available for support, it's because I actually give a shit about us, but I'm not attached to who or when or how, or if any of you even get support from me, because I'll still go into prayer right after this and ask where I'm meant to be. So I love you. I am here as a resource. If you wish to actually get one on one support, there is a benefit to receiving one on one reflection from me. I have the ability to reflect. So I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I'm not here to assume I know what your path is because I don't even know what my fucking path looks like, people. However, I have gifts that are eternal that allow me to assist others in crystallizing and refining wherever you are at on your journey. So sometimes it's validation that you might need, that you are actually in right relationship. Sometimes you might need some coaching to help redirect the focus into a clearer place. Sometimes you need someone to hold space for you to just shed and shed and shed and cry while the mother in me loves you unconditionally. So there's many ways that I support people. I also like systems and I like um, maps because there's not a lot of maps, but I don't like definitive maps. I like explorational maps. And so I also have a few mapping tools that I help people through reflecting consciousness through the map to see if that can support your path. So I'm a multidimensional healer, which means every person that works with me is going to get something different. I'm not sitting here with like, this is my agenda. It's like I show up and I offer the infinite wisdom of my soul to you. So I love you. 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 Even if you don't see that I love you, and even if you project all your shit onto me and think like, oh, she's not loving me because I have unresolved mommy issues and my mother didn't love me, and so I don't even know what real love looks like. I get it. I get it. It can be a dog eat dog world out there, as I've seen. And the only thing that I want to be eaten is I want the goddess to eat all the demons and the goblins and the ghosts and the ghouls and spit out gold love. Because all those demons and all those dark places, they are of the same spirit. They are of the same essential love, only misinterpreted, misrepresented, and lied to. If you think that demons are realer than love, or you're paying attention to the demons and the darkness in the world, send it love. Send them love. That which is in the darkness just wants love. I've had many relationships with demons and spirits, and I'm really connected to the spirit realm. And the trick and the joke of it is that all of these spirits, the only thing they've ever wanted to come to me for is to seek retribution, to seek resolution, and to end their suffering. So, all of the demons that you've all projected onto me, I send love to you, and I send a prayer that you remember your true essential nature as love, as connected to the one infinite soul. I send love to all those spirits seeking resolution, whether they be your own soul or whether they be other souls that have yet to find new pathways into love. I send a prayer that all of you remember that you are infinitely, intrinsically connected with love always, and that you may have been lied to and told that you were separate. But you are not separate. You are of this love. And so I invite you now to return to love. I invite the archangels and all angelic forces to support you in returning to a new mission, a new possibility, one where you can serve love. So, in service to love, this is why I'm here. I believe that true union with self and with others is possible, and I hold the key code of the essential blueprint of the planet living in harmonious love. And however many layers of illusion there have been, they are no longer here. I choose to heal and bless all these places for myself and for you, whoever is watching, and for all beings. I love you, I love you, I love you. Send me a message, private message, if you want to speak to me directly. I'll work with you wherever you're at. We're in this together. Namaste.